Once again, we're back on the Joelawoman Podcast, and we took a little break, but now we are back. And we all know that the Joela brand is that brand that you, like my friend Bumi here would say, it's a global brand. It's that brand that you pick off the shelf and you walk into any place, anywhere, and they ask, where is this from? And because it has that distinct Nigerian aesthetic, the reason why it's global is because it has international standards with the local flair. And that's what we like about it. And we, discussing offline was very interesting. Tara was sharing how the vibes she gets from her parties can last her a week. Meanwhile, the rest of us were like, it's work. Real work. It's work to go to a party, actually. But that is why we're all different. And that's, really it's that variety. I'd say is the spice of life. Truly is. It is. This is a very touchy subject, and but please be honest and let's speak freely, and let's see how we can free the industry of this. So gatekeeping.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to say that you are a ministry. You're into ministry. You're a minister. You have your own fashion business. You're a lawyer. You're a career woman with your counseling, and I'm also career and I'm not counseling. Sorry, and fashion business.
Yeah.
Tara, let me start with you. Being a lawyer, is there would be though. What is gatekeeping in your industry?
Okay, so, I actually looked up gatekeeping before I came because I just wanted to know what gatekeeping. So from my understanding of gatekeeping, it means the people there, not allowing people to come in or creating the conditions and the, what will I say now? The ensuring that who comes...
Very limited
people.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Definitely in every profession there is. Maybe I should say that the gatekeepers in the legal profession start with the body of benchers, because they're the ones that call you into that legal profession. So if, for example, they say you're not fit and proper to be a legal practitioner in Nigeria, then you can't be...
What determines fit and proper?
Behavior, character. If you're not complying with the rules of the profession, so basically that, and for the body of benchers, of course, if you do not pass the exams, the call to the law school exams, then you're not.
So those are
fit.
Let me say legal reasons.
Legal reasons.
These are legal reasons. These are you have to pass. You have to be of proper conduct and all of that. But the unofficial illegal reasons.
Because there's some clientele that you can't have, because other
people wouldn't
get you. So until you're invited to sit at the table, basically, you might not sit at that table. So we have I don't want to call out names, but we could say maybe the SANs, for example, are gatekeepers, because they are the upper echelons of the profession, and it's very difficult to get into that body. Right. It's not only what you know upstairs, but basically social. So yes, you have to comply with certain things, certain what's the word now? The words escape me. But there's certain criteria that you must comply with. But at the same time, it's not a matter of whether you've achieved those criteria, but who you know. So
is it intentional when you say that body does not encourage more people to join them? Is this an intentional thing, or it's just you're just not qualified?
I think both.
Both. That's what I wanted to understand.
Because, for example, as an SCN now, there's a particular number. I don't think it exceeds some number that will be called every year.
Right.
So even if you're qualified, if that number has been filled, then you won't be called.
Right.
And, it just gives us a certain class of exclusivity,
But, to be honest, I think for that title or position, there should be an exclusivity to it.
Yes, there is.
So.
But
I think so. Yeah, to some extent.
To some extent, yes. But it's not as embracing as it might be. But I'm not even talking about just that body, because in the legal profession, for example, there are all sorts of bodies. So we have the arbitrators, we have the mediators, so they're gatekeepers, people that even if you come in, now you can come into that body, but even when you come in, there's certain people that are favored and given the jobs, I think it's in every profession.
It's in every profession.
I think it's in every profession.
Yinka, do you have that in the academia?
Not directly, I would say. So we are very specific with what we do, right? So where we would experience gatekeepers is with the companies we are approaching. So they don't like you. They have friends in other places. They wouldn't open the door for you. I've experienced that so many times, where you know that you have this to offer them. They need it, but they wouldn't immediately welcome you to say, oh, let's work with you. Until maybe you know someone else in that company who is sort of higher. That's it. Who's sort of higher. In fact, I had that with, I don't need to mention their name, who I had been speaking with these guys, sent proposals so many times, had meetings, gone there 3 years. I was in the UK when a friend of mine was like, oh,
I know this person.
This person is actually the boss. And he's also in the UK. I was like, why are you in the UK? And I'm in Mayfair. I was like, he's also in Mayfair. This was in February, winter. It was cold. And at 7 p.m., I hopped in a bus and went to see this person. And that was what did it. I'd been there for
almost 3 amen for you.
Yes. 3 years I had sent my proposal. And so when HR now announced that we are doing this person now says, oh, I know how, I've been having meetings. Oh, nice that she's coming. And I'm like,
really?
We've been on this matter for 3 years. Like, why? So those are the kind of gatekeeping you will get, where people don't generally want you in their space, because you shine when you do good, right?
Yeah.
So
and you might take the shine
off them. They
or
want
make
to be
them
the
feel
one, or make them feel like you're better than them, sort of, when you're bringing all those ideas, But unfortunately, it's just what it is. You have to figure out how to go around it every now and then.
Which is everything in life. Though.
Yes.
Which is everything in
definitely.
life. Bumi, in the fashion industry, actually in ministry.
I think ministry. I actually want to hear that.
Beyond ministry or the fashion industry, let me just do a little bit of a rewind. I think that the word or the phrase gatekeeping is not new. Probably we're hearing and using those terms now because a generation came up and gave it a fancy name.
Yes.
The truth really is that I feel like gatekeeping is part of life. It is not new. It is not special. And there's something you said just before you asked the question. You said, this is life. Matter of fact, I will bring up my daughter knowing this. Look, excuse me.
There are serious gatekeepers.
Is now you have a name for it. Thank God, it's easier for me to teach you about it.
Yes.
But excuse me, gatekeeping is part of life.
Right.
So when people describe gatekeeping as this alienating effect or this alienating separatist, it isn't. It's just life. So I have a particular, I wouldn't say problem with when I see it on social media, I'm like, don't gatekeep from me. Gatekeep. I don't really care, because for me, if that space is a space that I feel led to enter into, then I will study to show myself approved for it. I will extend myself. I will stretch myself. I will find God in it, as long as it's God that is sending me to it. And your gatekeeping has not, in fact, your gatekeeping empowers me to do it right. So I have never looked at gatekeeping as anything. The question I have for you, who feels that they're gatekeeping for you, are you good enough for that space? I'm telling you the truth.
And it's funny she said that.
Interesting.
And I say to myself, I ask myself that question all the time. There are things in life that I've looked at and said, Bumi, you're not ready. And I tell myself, Bumi, you are not ready. Get ready and see that door will not open for you. So for me, gatekeeping is not necessarily a negative thing. Of course, there's negative elements to it that pressures people and drives them. Somebody is ready, somebody is ripe, and you say no to that person. Of course, that is not necessarily nice, but I just say to that person, it's a challenge. Take it on.
Yes.
If they won't let you in through the gate, then coming through the ceiling.
The roof. Interesting.
I like that.
So there was something she said that, which sort of sums up the reason why people gatekeep. And that's because they don't feel qualified enough. Because if you're strong in your space and you know your onions, like we say, and you are grounded and you're solid, I don't think you will be afraid to tell someone,
take your shine.
It's like, let's take it to a lighter space now where, oh, I like your dress. Where did you get it? Oh, I got it. A friend got it for me. You know where you got it. You don't want to tell me.
I have a story about
Why
that.
are you worried about me wearing something you have? Is it going to look better on me? Why are you worried?
When I said,
so gatekeeping, you're saying fits their insecurities.
Exactly. I walked in now.
It's a wide
I love your
things.
jacket. Immediately, both of you told me where to get it from.
Yeah.
I don't have to get the same one. And even if I do we live in the same house?
I'll tell you a story about
It's
that.
such a big space.
Within the fashion industry. If I would take it together and take a picture, I've met somebody at the party before we walked in, we were wearing the same dress. I felt it was a picture moment.
Yes.
Like, hello, please. I was comfortable when I came out with it.
I
So
told
why
her,
would I
I said,
suddenly
wow,
get
you have great taste.
uncomfortable?
Yeah.
That's what I said to her. I said, you have
But
great
in the
taste.
fashion industry, I can never forget when I first started my business, even until now, with some of my jewelry. And customers would say to me, I didn't tell them where I got it from. I told them I got it from Italy.
Why?
I said, I beg, it's not working for my business. Don't be telling them what for. Tell them you got it in Lagos from Emisara. Please, this is where to get it from. People gatekeep so much. But you know what? I look at it like I said, gatekeeping is a wide spectrum. There's a beautiful side to it, and there's a negative side to it.
Exactly.
But I say, no matter how negative that side is, find your way from the beautiful side, stretch it into the negative. You will get in. Nobody can stand between that which you need to do and
that which God has called you to.
I just feel you yourself, are you? I think the best question is, are you ready
for that space?
Have you paid the price to be in that space? Are you ready?
Interesting.
And you have to keep developing yourself. Anyways.
Exactly.
You don't stop where you are.
Exactly.
You have to keep moving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need to round up on that. That was a very interesting. That was really interesting. Bumi and I are in the fashion space together.
Yes.
So to a certain extent, I understand what she's saying. You know, I've been asked a few questions. Oh, where do you make your bags? Where do you do this? Where do you do that? I do my research. I did my research, walked so many fairs, and I'm like, okay, I can take you this far.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I've said,
you can't trade your secret.
I can't trade my secret, but I can take you this far.
Yeah.
That's not gatekeeping.
No, that's
Exactly. But then, I have a question. I have, let's to round up this session. I said to someone to make it light that if you and I enter the same store,
what you see is not
what I see will be different from what you see. What you walk out of this store with is different.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we've entered the same store.
Yes.
So when you ask me that, where do you get these things from? And I tell you, you will go there. You still won't pick what I will pick when I get there. So it's like she said, are you ready? Who are you? Where are you going to with it? And how confident are you about who you are,
where you're going.
and where you're going?
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
Yes.
That was really nice.